You're watching Septum Sen versus the World. I'm Septum Sen. I'm here with Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And we're here to inform you about what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've got some interesting new releases this week. I need to do a little bit of lighting adjustment. So while I'm doing that, why don't you tell me what you thought was cool to highlight this week? Because I forgot to turn that
Well,
on.
the first, probably highest priority one this week for nerds like us is A Fantastic Woman, Chilean film, I believe, which won the Oscar this year for Best Foreign Language Feature. It is supposedly a really good movie. I'm looking forward to seeing it eventually and maybe get to do it sooner than later because it's coming out now.
Yeah.
We also have some notable re-releases. A 4K release of The Matrix. Wild at Heart. Shout Factory is putting out one of the most twisted David Lynch movies ever made. One of the most twisted Nicolas Cage movies out there, which is saying something.
Yeah.
And Willem Dafoe in this movie, my God. Willem Dafoe is awesome. And few people alive are better at creeping the living hell out of you. And he does it in this movie. And then we get a pretty awesome looking Jurassic Park release. It's like 8 or 9 discs. I don't remember.
Oh, that's a beautiful release.
It's Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, and Jurassic World. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually tempted because I don't have the last 2 movies, and it would be a nice condensed repackaging.
That's like all in the high transfer and all that stuff.
Right.
Too.
So it could be pretty cool. Now, my understanding, though, was when they tried to do the HD transfer for the first movie, I understood it was kind of rough.
Well, I haven't seen HD. I have the DVD set because it's such a cool looking set. It's the one that has the gates and it just opens up.
That is cool.
That is a cool
This does look like a nice one, though. It looks fairly collectible. We also have the 3rd season of the Rumiko Takahashi anime Rene, one that she recently completed the manga, I believe.
Very good.
I don't know how... are they on season?
It's the only Rumiko Takahashi manga I have not completed.
Yeah.
I actually...
Do you have Mermaid Forest?
I used to. And it's kind of sad that I don't now. I've heard so much of my manga. It's such a limited stock now. But I plan on getting Mermaid Forest again and getting the and finally getting Rene eventually.
And Rene looks pretty fun. It looks like a pretty good one. I believe Sentai is releasing it, which is unusual because a lot of her stuff has been through Viz. This is one of the few exceptions there. Yep. And Sentai is doing their typical, they do pretty typical release schedule for this one. Hopefully they'll eventually do a complete collection.
You want to know something that I did find is odd? They are doing a DVD release for this.
Yeah.
And they had said that they were not going to do any more DVD releases.
That's true, yes.
So that is a weird, it's just kind of weird for me.
I wonder if Sentai's decided they need the DVDs. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's how I got the 2nd season. I hated to divide up the format, but it was so cheap that it was like, okay, I can finally get season 2. And I still haven't watched any of it. I've read a little of the manga, but... I fell to the wayside for it. I'm a bad Rumiko Takahashi fan. I mean, I've read everything else. I've read all Alum. I've read all of Maison Ikoku, Ranma, Inuyasha, One Pound Gospel.
Which he's read a lot more than I have. The only one I've completed is Ikoku. But I've read bits of several of the others. A lot of them are hard to get in their entirety. Yeah. But we also have a new Criterion release, Graduation, a Romanian film from the director of 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days, which I don't remember. I think I showed you that. Yeah. It was kind of a hard film to watch. It was good, but yeah.
And of course, we had 2 others that I wanted to throw out. For those of you who are big fans of the show, Camp is being released.
I don't know.
I've seen a lot of the characters pictured in social media and stuff like that. I don't know anything about it.
Right.
To me, a lot of the modern cartoons look very similar animation style, but I think that's how it was in the '80s too. They all look the same. It's just styles are the same. And Daphne and Velma. But of course, last but not least, Early Man, which kind of came and went, and I don't have a lot of hope for it, but other than the studio that handled it.
Yeah, it's Aardman.
Yeah.
And Aardman is awesome. I admit, for what I've seen in the trailers, I'm hesitant on this movie. But Aardman has a way of taking weird premises and really making them work.
I really like Pirates.
Oh, that was great. And then Sugimomo looks like it could be fun. And we have the Jennifer Lawrence actioner Red Sparrow that didn't get the best buzz, but I'm curious.
Well, let's move on and let's show you everything, including the stuff that we didn't feel the need to put in. Right? I hope you enjoyed that little rundown. So let's talk about news. Let's start with death, because everybody loves death. And we'll
That's one way to put it.
So you've got the last one.
Right.
I'll run through the rest of these fairly quickly and just tell me if you know anything by these people.
Right.
On the 7th, Gail Shepard died at age 81. She was with the Shepard Singers. That's one of the ones I actually know. Well, I don't know, but, you know, I know of the Shepard Singers.
Right.
A lot of these actual, like, a lot of these people who were in these types of bands are finally just dying of old age at this point.
Well, that's true of a lot of actors, too, and a lot of,
it's like just like a whole crew of just history, just... It's like the whole Infinity Gauntlet thing, where just... If you haven't seen it, you'll understand. Then on the 8th, Anne V. Coates, a film editor, died at age 92. She is best known for editing films such as Lawrence of Arabia and The Elephant Man. She even won an Oscar, I believe, for one of the two, if not both. And ended her career editing 50 Shades of Grey.
I'll have the mighty fallen.
That also should disappear. Just forget that existed on her resume there.
Sadly, still an Oscar-nominated film.
It is. Okay. 5'9", Ben Graves, age 46, drummer for the Murder Dolls. Leave a comment if you know of the Murder Dolls. I'm sure some of you do. I don't know who they are. But sound interesting.
Yeah.
Then on 10th, Scott Hutchinson died at age 36.
Damn.
Yeah. Cancer, I believe.
Cancer?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Scottish singer. I mean, one giraffe.
Do what?
It wasn't a giraffe that killed him.
Oh, I was like, what? Well, whatever.
Well, last week's. He was in groups like the Frightened Rabbit, Master System, and the Fruit Tree Fountain. Again, if any of you know these, let me know. I'm curious about what you think of these. And then, of course, My last one on the 12th was Antonio Machero, 82. Spanish film and television director. Directed series such as Goya and Emmy. So, it's kind of sad when you get the two musicians because both of them died pretty young. I mean, 46 and 36. That's kind of...
And the last one we want to mention just happened today, and this is I think technically yesterday, but I got the news today. And this has been one of the bigger entertainment news items so far today. Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane in the old Richard Donner Superman films, and who, once again, in a Richard Donner film, unfortunately, if you watched my review of Maverick, you will hear my mention that quite a large percentage of that cast, unfortunately, is now deceased. And unfortunately, Miss Kidder makes that yet another.
Sad, really.
Yeah, but she was one of the many cameos who packed into that film. She, I don't remember her age exactly, but she wasn't that old. I think she was in her 60s. We could, double check on that, or definitely you can let us know. Since I was working today, my memory is kind of all over the place. But definitely that was the big announcement of this week, I think, as far as celebrity deaths.
See, mine isn't usually updated for today's date, so it's kind of harder. Some of them are up, but not all of them. That's the reason why I'll take it back to the 7th. Right. Like when Gail Shepard, she wasn't on.
Well, this one I actually saw the notice first on Joe Blow. And then I checked on IMDb and it was on there too. So
that was in a rush.
Yeah.
Now on to news. I have 4 items. I know you brought a couple items as well. One item is actually have to do with the site. On Monday, we did a joint review, or should have done. We haven't filmed it yet. But we're going to be doing a joint look back at 2 classic films.
Yes.
One,
truly classic.
Cat Soup, and 2, Dead Leaves. Both of them have one major thing in common. They're both suitably strange. Yes. So if you haven't already seen it, tune in to Inside Movies Galore. Or is it Movies Galore? I can't remember the name.
Inside Movies Galore sounds right.
Yeah, I think that's right. I'll have a link for you to the actual page. And you, too, can see our look at this. We've done a couple of joint ones. This is the first time Kotobuki Jake will be joining us. We usually try and do it on days other than the days that we're filming this.
I could not have commented on that last one they posted.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to. Some of those were beyond. Night is something strange you couldn't do. I know what you could take and what you can't take. You could not have taken that one. So this time it's my turn to weird him out. So those are the choices that I had. So the other 3, I'm just going to throw those out there, and then I'll give the rest to you before we can end it. Of course, Jordan Peele is in the news as he has announced his new film, and it is going to be another horror. What's it called? Us?
I think that's what it was.
And that is he's already starting to casting. It's going to be something, I'm sure. I feel like he's going to top his last one, although it's going to be hard. But if he keeps it up, I really do believe that if he keeps this up, he will continue to get the Academy's love.
He has tremendous potential.
And I think he'll be able to push his way in and push horror into the Academy a little bit further than it ever has gone before. It hasn't gone that far last time, but I think it can move further in.
Just shove it right in there.
Yep. Just like that Rabbit movie.
Okay.
Then we saw the trailer for Predator, the new one, where you get a little kid going in the basement playing around with Predator weapons. That sounds real fun.
It's safe too.
Good kids film.
Oh yeah.
But there are some. I know I'm probably not the only one who. Yes.
I think I did see that.
Oh, it was a fun little trailer. I thought it was rather weird when you had the kid playing with it.
I did see that.
He took control of the spaceship with it. But so you've got, but to me, it was. I know most people looked at this like, all right, the new Predators from the team that brought you Iron Man 3. And I'm like, okay, so it was decent, but I'm not sure that's an accolade. Now, admittedly, if they'd said, like, from the team that brought you the original Iron Man, or, well, not the team.
That would have been a good team.
Not the team that brought you Iron Man 2, though. I wasn't really...
Well, what if they said, from the team that brought you Catwoman?
Yes. I'd have to watch it just because. But, it's just like... And then... Alright, well, I'll still see it. I mean... I think it has better potential than Iron Man 3 did. Iron Man 3 was decent, but I felt like that movie was so much wasted potential. They took the Mandarin, they screwed the Mandarin's character up to give it a slight plot twist, and just that on its own really, it grinds my gears. I need to get that clip.
You know what really grinds my gears?
That still was a fairly mild remix compared to a lot of comic remixes, though.
So, last bit of news for me. Speaking of comedies, Bill and Ted 3 is official. They have actually confirmed it is coming. So now all we need is Beetlejuice 2, and we've got the whole thing set.
Excellent, right?
Matter of fact, the late 80s and 90s, they just keep coming back. It's in fashion
There's
again.
a resource for you. You need to get them going. Excellent. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually have a picture. Back when I was in 7th grade, when these movies came out, me and my best friend at the time were big into Bill and Ted. We actually, over in Williamsburg, posing like this. It was just the big thing, and it was really cool to act like an idiot. And
of course, I'm a horrible child of the 80s because I don't think I've ever seen either of the movies. I did watch the TV series when it was out, which I don't know if that makes me a better or worse child of the 80s.
See, you need to watch it just for the fact it has George Carlin in it.
Right. That's probably a good thing there. Too bad he can't be in the new one. That really is a shame, but I don't know.
Well, they could do the terrible CG treatment that they did for Rogue One of...
Yes. Let's not.
But, so that's my news.
Okay. Well, I had some, for the most part, relatively minor news for the week, but there was some interesting stuff. One is, Right Stuff has put some things up for pre-order, including that Bubblegum Crisis set we talked about. Really? But one that's kind of exciting is Shout Factory's release of... Big Fish and Begonia is got an official release date now. And this film, I think it's a Chinese film. It's gotten so much buzz. I want to see this movie. It looks good.
Bigger than the Daphne and Velma movie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Marginally. Marginally, yes.
All right.
And then in licensing news, Sentai announced they licensed Scum's Wish, which... I've not seen that, but that's been a pretty high-profile series, and I've heard a lot about it. I think I heard good things. I can't remember.
I've seen a little bit of it, but it's not coming back to mind. But I know I've seen a little bit because I've been weird about my anime viewing. Right. It's like I'll watch a little bit of something, and then I get interrupted. So it's more like I watch 10 minutes of something, and then I have to move on.
Okay. Avengers Infinity War crossed $1 billion in the international box office, not counting domestic. It's making a mint. Apparently it was slacking because Star Wars did it about 5 days faster, but
it's hard to beat Star Wars.
It is. Well, Force Awakens, I should say. That is the new gold standard for movies making way more than movies should make. But I'm still thinking Infinity War has the potential to beat Avatar.
Well, I want to see
that'd be cool.
I want to see these big successes because...
We're going to get an angry letter from James Cameron now. What's up?
What you think about it, I actually do want to see these successes because for so long, the whole movie going has just been slacking and it's been failing. And I've worried that things like, I mean, you look at Netflix, those movies being honored as Oscar potentials.
Yeah.
That says more and more that they're looking at the theater as this is not necessary anymore. And I worry that eventually the theater is just going to go away. And everybody's just going to stream.
And we don't want that, because theaters are fun and it's nice. And it's good to get out with your friends and enjoy stuff and not just sit at home in there, whatever.
And are you watching Deadpool 2 this weekend?
Is that this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I can't, but...
I will be going soon. I didn't realize it was this weekend. I'm up on what's coming out, but not often when it's coming out. So yeah, that's a good point. I'll hopefully next week we'll have that to talk about.
Yep.
And the last thing on the Marvel news, I am excited about this. This is not so much news as off the cuff remarks at this point. But I don't know if you saw this or not. I actually saw this on Joe Blow and confirmed it on IMDb as well. Or actually vice versa. It was like right on the heels of the Kidder thing. Kevin Feige, however you say it, the head of Marvel Studios, has stated that right now they are focusing on introducing Captain Marvel, and we know that's coming. I mean, she's going to have her solo film next year, and she will be in part 2 of Infinity War. He has come out and said in so many words that once Captain Marvel is established, there are plans to bring in Kamala Khan into the MCU. That is awesome. I can't wait. I hope they do it right, because she is awesome. So, but you can't have Miss Marvel without Captain Marvel, because she hero worships Captain Marvel. So that's, you got to do it right. This isn't DC here.
So are they doing Carol Danvers, or?
As far as I know.
Oh, so they're going to have Rogue take all of her powers and...
Well, no, that would be the other version. Well, no, I think she was still... Wasn't she still Miss Marvel when Rogue took her powers?
Yeah.
So they're kind of skipping ahead already.
They're kind of skipping past that when she got her powers back. Which
begs the question of, if Rogue comes in, are they going to give her Carol Danvers powers? They're probably just going to play her as just the absorption power.
Yeah, like they have been. Yeah.
Which, in a sense, that makes sense thematically. But the Rogue we know and love is a little different from that. And it would be a shame if they can't find a way to, it'd be kind of cool. But then again, she managed to keep the powers even after Danvers recovered. So maybe it'll be like that rare exceptions. I don't know. They'll figure it out. That was the
moment that kind of pushed her over, which was why she joined the X-Men.
Well, as far as I know, Feige has still not come out and really said what they're going to do with the X-Men. Yeah. He has said he wants to use them.
Yeah.
So, but I am excited about this. And they also, in Spider-Man Homecoming, they did drop an Easter egg that set the seed that Miles Morales does exist in this universe. So, and he and Khan are kind of buds. Yeah. So that could be a pretty fun, so we'll see.
But I could set that up. Of course, what would really be interesting, and I would almost love to see this just for the entropy, is that after Infinity War, have Paul Feig take the helm and have him say, okay, everybody's reimagined and the entire Marvel universes of heroes are female. So for girl power, and they're all female comedians. I'd love to see, just because I'd love to see the nerd rage that would build afterwards. It'd be worth it just to
see. Who would he cast Melissa McCarthy as?
Oh, let's see, Hulk.
Hulk? I could see that. I actually could see that. Especially because I watched The Heat for the first time last night. I could definitely see that. Wow.
So, with that lovely note, tell us if you would like Paul Feig to redo the Marvel Universe as a female-only Marvel Universe in the comments below. Or would you be one of the ragers if that happened? All right, well...
I've said before, we've already got one of them. You know, because obviously if they redo Deadpool as a female, it's going to be
Yeah.
Margot Robbie. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
So, of course, subscribe, like, share, and we will see you on the next one.